Hello, you are watching Prevent-A-Thon, supporting little warriors. Thank you so much for watching. We're getting ready for our next run, but I want to remind you of a couple incentives we have going on. One for the next run of Paper Mario. We're looking to see if we are bringing Luigi along for our end credits, or are we leaving him home alone for the time save. You can choose to either bring or leave Luigi. We also have a new incentive for Earthbound Bike Percent. Currently, we're playing Bookie Percent, but if we want to upgrade that to Bike Percent, we'll get a bike in Tucson, which can only be done without any other party members. There will be lots of bells, plus you get a bike. What more could Ness want? All right, looks like we're ready to go for Paper Mario. Phantom is ready. No bosses are safe. Take it away, Phantom.
All right. Welcome, everyone. I am Phantom, and I'm also joined by our commentator, very special commentator.
Hello, I am Qbit. I've played Paper Mario casually, but have never seen the all bosses speedrun, so I am well prepared and excited to see this and comment on it.
Yeah, so this will be all bosses. I'm gonna just kind of jump into the game because we have a bit of an intro to get through, and we can talk as we go. So I'll give a quick countdown here. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Mario's house. Mario and Luigi are invited to Peach's castle for a party, as I think typically happens when Peach does literally anything. She just has people at the castle. And surely nothing will go wrong. The intro to the speedrun is fairly standard. There's not a whole lot you can really do other than some optimal movement, no matter what category you're playing. And we'll talk about what all bosses means as we kind of get to some of the more strange, I guess, inclusions in the category. Notably, unlike one of the more popular categories, all cards, after defeating a chapter boss, we do not have to touch the card for category rules. We just have to defeat the boss itself, and that'll come into play in a few spots. So, gaining control of Mario here, we're going to be doing what we'll be doing for the entire run, and that is using spin. So by pressing the Z button, Mario will spin in the direction that I'm holding the analog stick, and I can jump out of that spin before it ends to cancel out of the end lag of the spin motion.
It's fun to do casually too, the spin run.
Yeah, it's very fun. It kind of is what makes this game what it is in terms of like a speed run. You get to optimize a lot of very minor movements with spins. There's also a badge we'll be getting after Chapter 1 that will make our spin even better. So we need to route in 50 coins to buy that badge as soon as possible. And then I don't know what's happening here. Bowser's Castle was literally under Peach's. I feel like that's just a mistake.
And no one knew, apparently no one knew until now.
Yeah.
Like, how do you pull that off?
It seems like some error in planning. I don't know. Maybe this is why she's always kidnapped. Who knows? And then we're in space, and Bowser just breaks the window. Everything's fine.
I do appreciate that they brought back his little, like, clown ship from Super Mario World. It was a nice touch.
Yeah, he makes good use of it.
He does.
The clown motif for Bowser is a constant thing in these games.
It's a vibe.
And this is our tutorial, kind of. It's the first tutorial. We have the ability to jump, and that is it.
Yeah, so this is scripted. I don't think... Is there a way to, like, glitch out and beat Bowser? Or you pretty much just have to...
with some special tools, you could cheat Bowser's HP. He does have HP. You could cheat it to 0 and the game just crashes. Because what would you do?
Yeah. Well, game's over. Go home.
Bowser has put up a star shield. This has given him 1 defense. That means I can't do damage to him because I can only do 1 damage. And then he does his dangerous fire breath attack that does 10 damage. I don't know why he didn't just start with that. But that is our sort of tutorial or intro to like the battle system at a core level. It's an RPG. We have the ability to jump, and we will be soon getting the ability to use a hammer as well, and then we will select that option once for the next 3 hours. Jumping is just significantly faster. Especially so when we get into action commands, which will come into play at the end of our prologue. Unlike Thousand Year Door, we do not start the game with action commands. It is something that we need to be given by our Peach's companion, who we will be meeting later. His name is Twink. He is a star kid that we'll be seeing throughout the game. And Mario's just dead in the forest. Because he fell from the sky and landed on the ground after getting struck by lightning and burned by fire.
Mario's had a rough day. Mario's bad day.
And these are the 7 star spirits that were captured by Bowser in the cutscene that you can only see if you sit on the title screen for long enough. But we need to save them. Unfortunately, since this is all bosses, we only save 3 of them. Because we have to. There's no reasonable way to progress the game without saving those 3. But the rest of them, we just kind of leave.
Just leave them there. I believe the stars also make an appearance in Mario Party 3, maybe?
I think it's 5.
5. Oh, it's 5. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Mario Party 5, they are the, like... I don't know what they are. They're like the hosts of Mario Party or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Mario has woken up in a Toad house. In Goomba Village. He's completely shocked that there's a village of Goombas.
You know it's a toad house because it has a giant toad face on the wall. It's just...
Also, this toad just lives with all these Goombas.
Yeah.
And Goomba Village is really just, it's one family of Goombas. Across 3 generations. That's Goompa. He's fixing the veranda. And this is Goompapa. He just fixed the gate. So he can, we'll be able to leave Goomba Village and make our way to Toad Town shortly. And that's Kammy Koopa. Here to ruin everything.
Like you do when a magic Koopa appears.
Oh man, he just fixed the gate, Kammy.
Yeah. And you can't walk around. You can't just walk around it.
No.
You actually have to. That was gonna be so heated. I'm like, I just want to walk around it.
Well, Goompa has a hammer, and the hammer should be able to break that block at least. Oh man.
Oh, jeez.
Well, the veranda's gone. The earthquake caused by dropping that block just collapsed the entire veranda, and the probably 70, 80-year-old Goomba just fell to the ground below. But he's fine. He did drop his hammer, though. Over here in the playground. So this is our hammer. We will be using it once in battle.
So how do Goombas use hammers?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, but did you know Bob-Ombs have hands?
Which ones do?
Bob-Ombs.
Oh, really?
In the credits of this game, they do wave at you.
No way.
So maybe Goombas also have hands. They just put them behind their back.
They're just behind their backs the whole time. That's so polite of them.
And this is Junior Troopa. He is sort of like Mario's rival, I guess, throughout the game. This is another fairly scripted fight. He has not a whole lot of HP, and he's going to power up here. Use his full strength to do 2 damage.
Oof.
And now the fight is over.
Yeah, he shows up a couple times, and he's just kind of more annoying than anything.
Yep. Every encounter with Junior Troopa is considered a boss fight, including this one. For the sake of the category. And that is relevant because that fight is technically skippable with glitches. But in this category, we actually have to do that fight. And now making our way back to Goomba Village. We're going to be given a very special gift. It's going to be our first badge. And I will say it is also possible to skip this cutscene. You would not be given the power jump badge, and you would not be given Goombario as well. But you can do it. It would lose you a lot of time. Just because this badge is so important. This is power jump. We're going to be using this a lot. Since jump is faster than hammer, power jump is going to do 3 damage instead of 1 at the cost of 2 FP. Which is very significant.
Yeah, it's a very powerful move, and it's also fun to do when you get the hang of it.
Yeah. We're also given Goombario. He's here. He's gonna get to do a couple attacks throughout the course of the entire speedrun.
We'll give you a couple head bonks.
Yeah, moving around those Goombas, that is, these rooms are considered probably some of the hardest rooms in the entire game. Just because they're so small, and there's a lot of enemies on them. And this is our next boss fight against the red and blue Goomba. Red Goomba has 7 HP, blue Goomba has 6. So we're going to power jump the red Goomba, puts him down to 4. Head bonk the red Goomba, puts him down to 3. And the blue Goomba is still at 6 HP. We're going to power jump him as well, put him down to 3. And then we're going to tell Goombario to do nothing. And this handy fire flower that I picked up just outside of the playground does 3 damage to all enemies, defeating them both at the same time. If you were to defeat one before the other, you do get some extra text, where they're sad that you just beat their brother up. But we make our way back there to the heart block, get back up to full HP and FP, and head on over to another boss fight. Really jam-packed full of bosses at the beginning.
Yeah, rapid fire, huh?
Yeah, we fought Junior Troopa, we fought the red and blue Goomba, and now we're going to be fighting the Goomba King. His castle is so magnificent, it has 1 room with 2 doors on either side. And there he is.
Any minute now. Yeah.
Just look at his pants. His magnificent vertical striped pants.
Yeah. I think a bad guy in Yoshi's Island is wearing those same pants.
I believe it.
Yeah.
There is a small gimmick to this fight. Goombario headbonk this tree.
I like that the tree's wearing a band-aid.
It's meant to signify that you can hit the tree. Just so to drop the Goom Nut onto the other side. And that is the Goomba King. His 10 HP was not enough.
Bert the Bashful, that was it. The guy that's wearing the same pants as Yoshi's Island.
Ah.
Confirmed.
So we hit the switch that Goomba King hid in this bush outside of the castle. It detonates the castle. I don't know why he made a switch that destroys his castle, but it's there.
I love how it falls apart like this. So keep in mind, it's Paper Mario, so like the way a lot of the animation and stuff like just looks like paper.
And
it has some comedic effects sometimes. Most of the time.
Boing sound effect.
Boing, yeah. The way it just folds.
Goomba King gets launched into space. But he's probably fine.
Probably.
He shows up in the credits. And this is our first of a few instances of just cutscenes. If Matrimony, you want to talk a little bit about our charity?
Yes, absolutely. We are benefiting Little Warriors, and I'd like to talk about the Prevent-It program they offer. It's offered in person and online by Little Warriors. Prevent-It is a free, evidence-based educational workshop developed in Canada in conjunction with researchers at the University of Alberta. Prevent-It educates and empowers adults to take action and help prevent and respond to child sexual abuse. To learn more, go to littlewarriors.ca/prevent-it or type !prevent in chat.
Awesome. Yeah, this is our introduction to the next boss fight, our first chapter boss, which will be the Koopa Bros. Not themed in any way whatsoever.
Nope, totally not a reference to anything else. Completely original idea.
Original characters.
Not trademarked.
Nope. And now we have made it back to Toad Town, or in Japanese, Kinoko Town.
Mushroom Town.
And Eldstar, in that sort of intro sequence, told Mario to meet him on Shooting Star Summit. So that is kind of where we're going, making our way past Peach's castle. It was there. And off to Shooting Star Summit. A lot of these little stairs are spaced very well for spins to just kind of get you the perfect distance. It's almost like they designed it that way. I don't know if they actually intended it to be that way.
It's a really good design if they did.
Yeah. And then this is Eldstar telling Mario to save everyone, save all 7 of the Star Spirits. And he's gonna, I think they say to like go talk to Merlin for like some hint as to like where to look. Maybe that's a different cutscene. I haven't read the text in this game in a very long time. Notably, I am also not actually mashing the text. I am able to advance it automatically at the fastest possible speed by holding the B button. That is exclusive to the first Paper Mario game. No other Mario RPG lets you just hold the B button to advance text as fast as possible.
Man, I wish I kept that.
It's such a good feature.
It's so nice. Don't have your like button mash your way through dialogue you already know.
Yeah. Notably, also, we are playing in Japanese. There are numerous glitches used in this category especially that are Japanese exclusive. In addition, the Japanese text, not just because of the limited characters used, but when they released the game for US, they made text move slower on top of having more characters. And that is also true for the PAL release as well as the IQ version as well. Notably, the IQ version would be Chinese text. You'd think that theoretically that should be faster than Japanese, but because of the US text speed is actually significantly slower still. And this is Twink. He is Peach's companion throughout the game. And he is off to give Mario the Lucky Star, which will allow Mario to do action commands. And action commands are kind of the whole, like, the key to the combat system in this game. So by timing inputs precisely in battle, we can do more damage and also take less damage. And we're gonna skip the tutorial here. And go straight into our fight against a Magic Koopa. So Power Jump was doing 3 damage to the Goomba Bros as well as the Goomba King. And against this Magic Koopa, it does 4 damage, because we now are able to time our A-press. Similarly, we blocked that attack. You saw Mario kind of duck under his hat to take 2 damage instead of 3. Blocking and not blocking attacks will be very important for routing our HP in a specific way. It'll come up much later. But we have our first actual glitch, our first trick of the run. It's gonna kind of depend on a friend how this goes. And that friend is referred to as the Green Toad. So, oh. Hey, nice. Thank you, Green Toad. And there we go.
So how's it the green toad like triggers that?
So while hammering specifically, Mario's collider is kind of disabled with wall collision, but not with NPC collision. So the NPC can push him into walls while his hammer is out and spinning.
Oh.
So by doing some specific balls out of bounds there, we can sort of just land behind the black toads. No one knows why they're blocking the road. It's a mystery. They're just kind of there.
They're just being jerks.
Yeah. So we're gonna make our way over to Koopa Village. And we're gonna do some shopping. This is one of the few instances in the game, I think, well, one of 2 times I will ever use money. Because I need to buy some fire flowers. Those fire flowers are going to come in very handy here. And there is a kind of naked Koopa. He has like an undershirt, I guess. And shoes.
He's just a little underdressed. Yeah, Koopa.
The fuzzies have taken his shell, which I think is kind of rude.
Why though? Like, why do they need the shell?
They're just kind of being a menace.
Yeah.
This minigame is RNG. The fuzzies will go between... They'll stop in 3 trees. There are 4 trees here. It's just completely random. The number of bounces they do are also random. And on the 3rd cycle, I will need to pay very close attention because it is very fast. Oh. Please go to the left.
I'm like trying to play along here.
Yeah, it's notably on the English version, that last bounce is much easier to follow. So on the third sequence on Japanese, it looks so much faster. So I do a little bit of counting in my head to like figure out what tree they're actually in. And this is our second partner. This is Cooper. Say goodbye to Goombario. We will not see him again for a very long time.
I never used Goombario in my for like 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm done playing now. He just doesn't have as much Riz as Goombella does from TTYD.
Yeah, Goombario doesn't really do a whole lot. He has some very niche uses, but in a speedrun especially, he doesn't serve much purpose. This is a very minor difference between what I would do in like a PB attempt. I'm grabbing this HP plus. That is going to be used in exactly one fight against Bowser. And it is going to make things much safer at the end. But we can talk about that in 2.5 hours. So, off we go with Cooper to the Koopa Bros Fortress. Because that is where our first Star Spirit is, and we can't really do a whole lot. Glitch-wise at this point, there's not much you have available with just Goombario and Cooper.
Yeah.
Most of the glitches in this game do rely on partners. And notably, a couple partners in particular that we will be making our way to as fast as possible. But
I was a fan of oh, I forget her name, the Boo lady.
Oh,
She's one of my favorites.
that's unfortunate.
Oh no, is she not? Oh, rip.
we never enter Boo's mansion,
Oh no.
so we will never have Bo.
Oh.
We do get all of the other partners.
I do like yeah, forgetting their names. The Pinko Bomb as well.
Yeah, Bombette will be coming up very shortly here.
Yeah, she's another fun one to use in control.
Yeah, she's very useful in battle, especially.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here, let me just blow up in front of your enemies. Yeah. Like.
So Koopa Bros Fortress is fairly straightforward. There's not a whole lot going on here. There is one very important thing in this room, especially. There's a badge in this room. It's right there. That little pink shoe. That badge is Power Bounce. And Power Bounce, as long as you don't miss the action command, you can jump quotation marks infinitely. Oh. And here on this staircase, we're just gonna jump through it.
Hate stairs.
And this lets us skip a Koopa Bros Fortress key and the fight there. So that defeating that Koopa in that room drops a switch onto the ground and then lets you make your way off into what we call the pit. But doing the pit with Bombette is a little bit faster. So we're gonna pick her up real quick. Because it turns out Bombette's basic attack does, well, not basic attack, her FP using attack, Bomb, currently does 5 damage. 5 is a lot more than anything else any other partner or Mario can do. Koopas have 4 HP and 1 defense, which means that Bomb will instantly defeat them in battle. And for blowing up this wall, we do trigger the prison guards. They did hear that.
They did hear the giant explosion in the other room.
Yeah. And we're gonna make use of one of our other fire flowers here. 3 damage to everything. And then we body slam this Koopa for 1 more damage. This is all very particularly routed. We do need all of these coins. And I'm going to be attempting something that is very particular. This Koopa on the far right is kind of a jerk. Yeah, okay. I'll just do the backup. Depending on where he is when you enter the room, he can be very friendly or kind of rude. That one was a rude position. You want him to be a little bit closer. Yeah, a little bit closer or a little bit further away. And it's pretty easy to hit him with Bomb. But because of where he was spaced in a very awkward way. This is where RNG actually can kind of impact things quite a bit. If this fails, I will be changing my route significantly.
Oh.
Cool. It worked.
All right.
That has a 90% chance to work on both of them. So I needed 2 90% and I got it.
Knowing how speedrunning goes, I bet that misses more often than it seems like it should.
Yeah. In a PB attempt, I reset if that fails. Because it loses about 40 seconds throughout the course of the entire run to reroute that.
That's hype that you got it.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
So jumping over these fire bars 10 times spawns 10 coins.
I had no idea you could do that.
Okay. If you burn, they reset back to their slowest speed, and I do not need... Yeah, that's fine. I need 50 coins by the time I leave Bros Fortress, and the final fight at the top of the fortress gives me 10. I'm gonna bring this guy over here. Also, a minor difference between this and Thousand Year Door. Mario's hammer extends his grab hitbox on items. So you can use hammer to actually pick up items, which is very good for if you're moving away from the item that you're trying to grab. Very small thing. And this trick up here is technically not a glitch. It is allowed in glitchless categories as well. And it's also a very, very old trick. These are called pie jumps. Okay. By sort of getting in front of the wall here and just jumping around it, you can skip hitting the switches subsequent times. Found by I Ate Your Pie in 2013. If I recall the year correctly.
Oh, I was gonna ask why they're called that. That clears things up.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I believe that is one of 2 tricks in this game that we have named after the person that discovered them. The other one being Flare Carry, named after Flare, but we don't do Flare Carry in this category. So, making your way to the top. All that's left is a fight against a set of cannons and then the Qbitbeats themselves. The cannons are fairly, not scripted, but straightforward. We will be using our good bomb friend to first strike the cannons. As you saw with the Koopa earlier, the first strike from Bombette does max damage. So it's the best first strike you can do in the game. It's just very awkward to actually hit it. And I'm gonna try and not get shot by cannons. These patterns are RNG. And we're good. Very quick fight here. We very much do not ever want extra experience, so defeating these cannons before they spawn bullets is fairly important. The experience route in this category, there are multiple instances where we will finish a fight at 98 star points. And we very much never want to level up early. There's also one instance where we level up by 1 extra star point. So trying to back up accidentally getting more experience somewhere early on is, by getting less somewhere else, isn't necessarily trivial. And this is Bowser. I think we're at the end of the game.
I believe it. Yeah.
Bowser has 10 HP, just like he did in Peach's Castle. So we did 3, and then 4, and then another power jump does 3, and Bowser's been defeated.
Wow, that was a short run.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was your world record.
All right, so these are the Koopa Bros.
Oh. What? It was them the whole time?
In a Bowser trench coat?
No, in a Bowser trench coat. Turtles all the way down.
So the bomb instantly knocks over the tower, and they each have 5 HP. Pow Block does 2 and keeps them flipped over because they're Koopas. And the Fire Flower does 3 damage for a total of 5. Yep, so that was our first chapter boss. And we'll be coming up on a Peach intermission shortly. This game has a lot of Peach intermissions. This is the last one we will be seeing until we defeat the Chapter 6 boss. Which is one of the things that makes the glitch categories much faster paced than, say, glitchless. Just getting to not watch these cutscenes, basically. And say hello to Eldstar, who is our first star spirit. He gives us the power Refresh, which heals you for 5 HP and 5 FP at the cost of 1 star power. And
That's a pretty handy one.
in a perfect world, we will literally never use it. It can be used as a backup in some situations, but ideally, star powers are very slow. And we try as much as we can to not use them. Actually, this category never uses star powers. Not a single one. Well, there is one. There is one that's used as a backup. For a fight that I will be saving before.
Which star power is it?
The star power we will use is Lullaby.
Oh, okay. I would not have guessed that one.
Yeah, it'll come up shortly before Chapter 8. since this is all bosses, we do need to defeat every single enemy considered a boss. And there are a few that are kind of out of the way. And some that people might not even know exist. I'll say that much.
The lore thickens.
Yeah, this is our last chance to accidentally take a tutorial. Eldstar wants to teach us about using star powers. It's also the longest tutorial by quite a bit. I believe it's 45 seconds.
Oof.
Yeah, now we get to make our way back to Toad Town. During that Peach intermission, she discovered the location of Mamar in Dry Dry Desert, who is the second intended star spirit. And Twink will be coming down to tell us about that once we get back to Toad Town. We do have one boss fight before we get back to Toad Town, however. Our good friend will be making his reappearance here. Hiding in this bush, waiting for Mario the entire time. And then he asks if you remember who he is. It's faster to say yes, even though it's funnier to say no.
Yeah, I always like to say no, because he gets really heated.
He has 15 HP, so 3, 7, he also, by going back in his shell, he has given himself 1 defense. There's 10 damage. And here's 14. He is at 1 HP. And prepare for the only time you will ever see this.
The hammer.
The hammer does 2 damage, whereas jump does 1 damage twice. So that is our only instance of clicking at least the basic hammer attack. And now Twink is telling us about the next star spirit we need to save. But before we even consider doing any of that, we have a 75% chance here to get what I want. Let's see if it's here. It's not. Let's go. Okay. So, to reload the shop, we go 2 screens away and then come back for another 75% chance. World record for most attempts is 9. It takes about 25 seconds to reload the shop. There it is.
No. Okay, good.
This is Speedy Spin.
Rolls off the tongue. I love it.
And now our spins go much further. They're faster. And overall, it saves minutes. Tens of minutes over the course of the entire run.
So even if it takes 9 tries to get it, it still saves time.
Yeah. You wouldn't continue that run, but... I did have a PB with 5th try. My personal best is 7th try. If you want to consider that
I love how you keep track.
If you want to consider that a best.
Also, I know they're probably not going to be in this run, but I totally got into those pigs when I played this game.
Oh yeah.
That like pig that you passed, yeah.
Yeah,
that was like way more addicting than it needed to be.
Yeah, we're gonna pass by it again and then never see them.
Yeah, bye pigs.
We're taking the train to Mount Rugged. This is still kind of the intended routing here. We need to get a couple things on Mount Rugged. One, there is a magical seed, which we will need to enter Chapter 6. Two, there is a badge called Damage Dodge, which means your blocks, while Damage Dodge is equipped, block 2 damage instead of 1. And then there is this guy. And Paracarry is kind of really good. He is able to do 5 damage with Shell Shot. It's a very fast attack. Also, this is Waka. I will be taking one of those.
Yeah.
But Paracarry does very significant damage for very cheap, and it's very fast. It is possible to skip getting Paracarry, but for all bosses, it doesn't actually save that much time to do. I believe it's around 30 seconds. Due to all the things that you need to do from skipping Paracarry. So we're just gonna make it easy on ourselves and get our very strong partner.
Let me know when to be a good time for an update.
Yeah, we can do right now.
Okay, great. Well, we have a donation, $25 from our own Talia the Fox. Fox says, poor Luigi, he's just a little guy, and he's green. Save the green, save the little guys, lesson 3. And that $25 went towards bringing Luigi, which now puts it ahead of leaving him behind. I gotta ask Phantom and Qbitbeat, do you have a preference on leaving him behind or bringing him?
I would like to not watch him talk to Mario for 12 seconds. That's my preference.
Yeah, that is my preference as well.
Ideally.
You see him differently. If you play through T2ID, you kind of see Luigi in a different light in the Paper Mario series.
Yeah, so we had to find these letters for Paracarry. 3 letters. Now because he lost them, he just dropped them all across the mountain. It's kind of his job to deliver them, and now he wants Mario to help him deliver the letters. So he's gonna come with Mario. We will not be delivering any letters, but we will be using Paracarry in battle a few times. And he will be used right about now to do a very important thing and cross a gap in order to grab this magical seed from a bubble. And I think we're done with Mount Rugged. It seems like a pretty good time to leave. We got everything we needed. There's nothing on the other side of the mountain. We're gonna make our way back to Toad Town. On the way, I will be hitting this heart block. And back to Toad Town we go. As you do. This is what you would do, I think, casually as well. You would get Paracarry, get the magical seed, go back to Toad Town. Probably gonna plant the magical seed. Surely. But
I actually completely forget about this seed.
so the 4 magical seeds are needed to enter Chapter 6. We're gonna be grabbing them kind of as quickly as we can. I'm gonna just dance with these toads for a little bit.
Waltz with them a little.
Yeah. Alright. That was close. Come on, buddy. Okay.
And everyone's doing the toe tango.
Yeah, so these toads have a range where they will not walk further left, and I really want them to walk further left. Thank you, blue toad. So the green toad pushed the blue toad out of his walk range. Now he's gonna come over here. Come on, buddy. As you saw with our green toad friend earlier... A little bit closer to the wall, buddy. There we go.
There we go. Thank you, Bluey.
So, we're inside the blue house. This is Rip Cheeto. Bye, Rip Cheeto. We're gonna blow up your wall.
Oh, I wait, what is the lore on that guy? Because I completely missed this in my casual playthrough. What? Who was that? I have questions.
He's just a man that lives in the sewers.
Oh my goodness.
We're just gonna go through his house and come over here. Hey, it's a blooper. You know, it's been a while since we've done a boss fight. So, blooper, we're just gonna try and do as much damage as we can as fast as possible. And power bounce is a very good way of doing a lot of damage. I'm gonna try and focus, because these are 2-frame windows at the very end. Oh, 20... I'll just do this. Alright, he should be at 8 HP. Okay. Hitting 2-frame windows is not my thing today. He's at 1 HP. It's fine. We level up here. And we make our way through this blue pipe that he opens up. Which, you probably know where this goes, right?
I actually don't. Oh, what? I have questions.
So, we are in Chapter 5. This is Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island, yeah.
Or Lava Lava Island, as it's called in-game. It's Yoshi's Island. It's Yoshi Village.
It's Yoshi's Island, yeah.
So Colorado here, I don't know who this guy is, but he's really into this volcano. Never met him before in my life. I'm gonna grab this Jammin' Jelly. The Jammin' Jelly is an item that heals 50 FP when it's used in battle or outside of battle. And all of the Yoshi children are missing. Sushi is their babysitter, and Sushi is gonna be the one to tell us to go find the children in the jungle.
Yo, Sushi the fish who hangs out in the tree.
Yeah, I mean, she was put up there.
Oh, okay.
And we have one thing we're gonna grab real quick here. There is a very good badge in the next room over. Sushi lets us swim in the water. There's been a lot of water, I think. At least a little bit. This badge right here is also very powerful. This is Power Quake. This is going to let us do 4 damage to all grounded enemies with our hammer. And now that we have Power Quake and Sushi, we're going to leave.
Okay, bye. Oh, are we not gonna find the kids? They're just,
they're fine.
They're fine? Okay.
You saw the one sleeping in the tree. I think he's fine.
Yeah, that's, yeah. We'll just go with that, yeah.
So back to Toad Town. You know, there was water in this first room over here. And we just got Sushi. I think that this is the perfect chance to test out our new fish. There we go. I think she's working. This seems normal.
This is fine.
Yeah. You know, we need to get the magical seeds. I think there was one in the forest over here.
Everything's water if you try hard enough. Like, clearly.
Yeah, it's all water.
Yeah.
Aren't bricks 70% water or something like that?
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know I don't know the chemical makeup of a brick, but I'll believe it.
I imagine if cement's involved, and cement's
Yeah.
a lot of water.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, so just gonna navigate my way through the forest here to get to the magical seed room. Just a couple rooms away. No big deal. I'm just going through these bushes and...
Man, why did I think to swim around the forest during my playthrough? Like, duh.
This is... I think his name is Fred. He's a fuzzy. Say hi to Fred.
Bye. Nah.
Well, I mean... kind of want to, like, talk to him a little bit more. And that should be good enough. The camera is a little weird here. I'm also going to try and play this very safe. Okay, cool. Anyway, that's a bubble.
So what did the thing with Fred do?
That's what put us in this state.
Oh, okay.
So I can explain it because we need to do it again. Sushi is very special. You're obviously not supposed to be able to get into encounters while on sushi. There are never encounters in the water. So by getting into an encounter with sushi, it takes you off of sushi. That seems pretty straightforward. By getting into a second encounter with sushi, it puts you into a very interesting state. We're gonna be in a similar state later, using a different partner, but it's not quite the same. In this sort of like weird cutscene glitched state, you can't actually talk to NPCs except during a small frame window after closing the pause menu. So during that, if you close the pause menu and talk to an NPC on the correct set of frames, the cutscene state is not reset to where Mario is able to, or to where Mario is supposed to be standing still. You actually have full control of Mario. And by moving around while the text is on screen, you can acquire the magical seed without setting the flag that the magical seed has been acquired at all. And that's why we left before the text was fully cleared. Yet after being given the seed. You can only really do that once at a time. We need this magical seed. We need 3 copies of it. So that's why we're here again. So we need to do this one more time. Notably, if you press the A button late, after the frame window, where you can talk to the NPC, you will talk to the NPC, and then you will soft lock the game. So I'm being very safe and trying to go as early as I can. Because if you go too early, nothing happens. If you go too late, you soft lock, and if you go in the right frame window, you get the seed. So I'm going very early. Okay, we're good. And going through this exit because we can stay in the forest this way. And then back. to talk to the bubble for real. Now we can no longer acquire the magical seed from that bubble because we've set the flag that the item has been acquired. However, we can do something a little special here. So we have the magical seed from Toad Town, the one from Mount Rugged, and then 3 copies of this blue one. So Minty's just gonna plant these normally. Go plant the blue seed. And now one more. Here's another blue seed.
Listen, Minty, you gotta take the blue seeds and you're gonna like them.
And here we have a cutscene. So this is the door to Flower Fields. We do still have an extra magical seed in our inventory that is relevant for much later. But we're in chapter 6. So that is mostly thanks to sushi. And why we went so far out of our way to get sushi as quickly as we did. Similarly, we're just gonna come over here, and we're gonna use our good friend Bombette. A lot. So there is a invisible NPC inside of this bubble plant. You can kind of see it with the shadow that's under the plant. I should be counting these. Or in a perfect world I can do this in like 12, but unlikely. Timing is not that easy. Seven. That was a good one. Yeah, you can see the shadow moving if you watch very closely.
Yeah, you can't see it move. That's cool.
This is called NPC pushing. It's a property that Bombette has when she lands. If Mario is spinning, she actually pushes an NPC that you're near. And like with our Toad friend earlier, disabling wall collision, we're up here.
They're just a suggestion, those walls.
Yeah.
Incredible. We moved an invisible NPC so it could push you out of bounds. That is, wow.
So this is our next boss fight coming up, and also a very important one. So by making our way up here to the sun, the literal sun, he cannot go into the sky because there are clouds. Very unfortunate.
I feel like that has a lot of bad consequences.
All right, and this is Spike. Or as he is called in Japanese, Jonathan. I need to be very careful here. If I miss a single block, I will die. So... I'll be focusing on this fight. This is all very, very planned out. Damage routing. Okay. And using this whack-a-bump that we got on Mount Rugged to heal us back up to full HP and FP. Yep. It looks like a melon bread.
Oh, those are good.
I think that's kind of what it's like designed after.
Ah, yeah, melon bread's tasty.
And that is lackluster. So basically everything that I've been doing for the last hour was to get lackluster as quickly as possible. Because Lackey is incredibly important in terms of just what he can do for this game. As we saw with Sushi, being able to ride a partner is very interesting. And Lackey is another partner that we are able to ride. And notably, he has some very special features that we'll be showcasing very shortly. These features are very, very difficult to do all of them, so I'm gonna try as best as I can. Most of these are frame perfect. We're gonna take a quick detour here. Hey, the storeroom's open. I'll take that train for later.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Because we were just in chapter 6, the game thinks we're in chapter 6, and if you're after chapter 4, the storeroom doesn't have a lock on it. So that is feature number 1 of Lackluster. If you see a corner, you can probably go inside of it. Just because when you jump on Lackey, your hitbox is kind of displaced behind you. And now we're going to be doing the hardest thing. Well, no, the second hardest thing in this run. This is called Clippy Boots. I need to do this frame perfectly. Okay. Missed the frame. This may take a couple tries. Okay. By opening the partner menu while riding Lackluster and encountering an enemy on frame 2, not 1 or 3, you enter a state called Clippy. Mario has Lackey's sort of hitbox in a way, and we're just gonna do this. Okay. And I need to do it again. This one is a little bit harder for different reasons. This is not as easy as just jumping through the wall like the previous room was. We will need to do some very precise movements with the analog stick. And I really want this Koopa to go over there. Cool. So
That was great.
So that is what used to be the hardest thing in the game. There is something harder in chapter 2 now, when we get to that. But we now have the Ultra Boots. And as you can imagine, with jump being our fastest form of damage, the Ultra Boots giving Mario +2 to his jump, so his jumps do 3 instead of 1. We're going to be doing significantly more damage. Also, I'm sorry if this bothers you, I'm eating a jam and jelly for 13 FP.
Jam's good. I like jam.
So,
Be jamming.
50 FP item being used to heal 13 FP instead. And we're going to be making our way to the Dark Koopas. And this is a pretty easy sequence. We're going to be taking a good break now. Between getting to Chapter 5, doing all of the seed duplication, getting Lackey, getting the Ultra Boots, that is our big stretch of very, very difficult things. And now we get to take a bit of a breather that is Chapter 3. Relatively speaking. And making use of our Power Quake here. The Dark Koopas all have 8 HP. If their feet are moving like they are, and if they were to attack, that actually dizzies Mario. And dizzying Mario means Mario doesn't get to play the video game. He just kind of sits there. Sir.
Excuse me. Do you have a moment of your time?
Would you like to pay attention to me?
Please notice me.
And we picked up a shooting star in Chapter 6 as well, right before fighting Lackey. This does 6 damage to everything, which is also very convenient. We'll be getting more of those later.
I loved me those shooting stars in my casual one.
They're so good.
Yeah.
So, here we are at Boo's Mansion, and say goodbye to Boo's Mansion.
Bye-bye.
We will not be going inside of that building for any reason at any point in this game.
It must have no bosses then.
There are no encounters in there, even. The game currently thinks we are still in a Chapter 6 state. So, you know, it assumes that you've already done Chapter 3.
So the boos are safe?
Yeah, there's no, the Boo will not be eaten in Gusty Gulch or anything.
Oh, thank goodness.
And now we are making our way off to Tubba's Castle. So, notably here, there are a bunch of times like this in the game where hitting certain loading zones will set flags. Opening this door and entering this room sets the game to a Chapter 3 state. The game now thinks we're in Chapter 3. So, all of the clubbas are here. If you were to come here in a post-Chapter 3 state, normally there wouldn't be any clubbas. Sir.
Excuse me.
Please hit me.
Excuse me. Please hit me. Please hit me with your giant spiky base.
It'd be really cool if you would hit me in the head with this.
Yeah, please. Please bomb me, sir.
Thank you. Very cool.
Yeah. Thank you, very cool.
I'm sorry to anyone that doesn't like beeping, but you will now be hearing beeping for the next 2 hours. At every opportunity that I can be at 1 HP, I am going to be trying to be at 1 HP. This is why we're in Chapter 3. The badge in question that we will be acquiring is Mega Rush. We'll be getting it shortly. At 1 HP, Mega Rush gives you a +4 to your damage output. So Jump will do 7 damage baseline. So jumping twice does 14, and a Power Bounce will do 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, etc., etc. As long as you get the bounces. And we really, really like that kind of damage. It makes things much faster. And this is also why the hammer doesn't really get to do much, because it doesn't ever hit multiple times. I'm sure casually, probably most people would use bow here. But as long as you're fast enough with your spins, the sentinels will never be able to catch you. Just the power of speedy spin especially. Let's see if I can make the cycle here. Cool. That was just Parakarry lifting Mario onto the spikes. It's a very tight frame window if you do the spike room correctly. And another like small thing Parakarry can do, he gets kind of confused at corners and just lifts Mario really high. But here is our very, very important badge, Mega Rush. And we will be immediately equipping this. As well as Power Bounce. We do have a little bit more of Tubba's castle, not a whole lot. We do get to see Tubba real quick. There he is, there's Tubba Blubba.
Tubba always stressed me out.
It's a little stressful. Like avoiding him in this room.
I'm also a big fan of Boos. They're like one of my favorite species in the Mario universe, so yeah, Tubba didn't sit well with me.
One of my oldest, like, so my icon, my like, all my stream assets and everything are like kind of based on Boos. One of my oldest pieces of art is, for this game, it is Tubba holding my ghost character and licking him.
It's like people who don't know, they're just smiling, and people who know, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, and Tubba's just like smiling. He has a happy looking face.
Yeah, it's like, this is fine. friend flavored.
And then this is Yaki, the mystical key. We'll be using...
Oh, I forgot about this jerk.
Yeah, we'll be using Yaki to get into the windmill to fight the Chapter 3 boss, Tubba's Heart. And if you don't like Tubba, this part might be a little stressful. Because I'm not going to just go to the right and run away. I'm gonna go back into this room.
Oh no.
Oh. So back in we go. And up we go onto the banister.
Okay, I did not realize you could just run past it and you just wouldn't do anything. That's...
It's a little trickier than that. I was baiting Tubba to come down and then go to the top of the hallway.
Oh, okay.
But
it literally just like walked right past it. I was like,
yeah, it is a little sketchy.
Yeah.
And if I get lucky here, there is a text box that appears at a random timing. There it is. You can make it out of the room without that text box appearing. And this cleft rather, this may look like I'm doing this for no reason. This is very precisely routed. I really need to make up some experience. And it turns out this cleft has the perfect amount of experience to make up any missing gaps from other fights that we will be skipping.
I think I just saw one of the letters in passing too.
Oh, yep.
Yep. Oh, no, we're not picking that up. No, that.
Yeah, don't need that.
Yeah.
And into the windmill we go. I need to be very careful about this first Goomba. I do not want to jump on him. If I jump on that Goomba and first strike him, he will die, and he will give me experience. And I really don't want that. So this is Tubba's heart. It looks just like a heart, eyes and all.
Yeah, seems anatomically correct.
Yeah. And this is the power of Mega Rush. That was, I don't know how much damage, but a lot. And now he does his charge attack. and the fight is over.
And that's how you beat the heart. Heyo.
Nice.
So, the heart does a charge attack, and then on the next turn we'll do, I believe it's 12 damage, which obviously we're at 1 HP. Our max is 10. 12 is a lot. We don't want to get hit by that, so we want to defeat the heart as quickly as possible. And by Tubba eating his heart, he is no longer invincible. Unfortunately, Tubba also has 10 HP.
I was gonna ask, why was he storing it in a windmill?
It's a safe place.
Yeah.
It was behind a locked door. No one can get in.
No one can get in.
No one knows that he's invincible because he doesn't have a heart. That's something that you find out from, I think the key, technically. Oh, hey, it's Bo.
Oh, okay. Hey!
Bo's like, you want me to join the party, right? Yes. And then it doesn't happen because that's not where she joins the party. Anyway, that's Scholar. That's the third star spirit normally. Anyway.
At least Bo got the cameo.
Yeah, she does get to appear for a cutscene. Notably here, we do have another boss fight. Against our favorite. Reoccurring friend. Rival. Whatever he is.
One we already forgot about, like an hour ago.
Except this time, because you beat him with a hammer, he has wings. Unfortunately, I don't think that matters. He really didn't think this through. He does have a lot of HP, so like casually this fight is very difficult. Yeah, because you saw I was doing 7 with Mara's power jump, 4 with shell shots, and then 6, 5, 4, 3 with that power bounce. That's a lot of HP for you to beat casually. I think it's 40 that he has.
I do remember that fight taking a while. Like, it wasn't necessarily hard, it just was long.
Yeah. He also does 5 damage, which is quite a bit if you haven't leveled up your HP at all. But, notice we came through that loading zone, and because we have the train in our inventory and we were in a pre-Chapter 4 state, the game puts us in a Chapter 4 state. So, we're now in Chapter 4. And we're placing the train into the toy box.
Totally normal order of operations, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, you go from Chapter 3 to Chapter 4. That seems pretty straightforward. And because we have our good friend Lackluster, we're just gonna open this switch. Pretty convenient. And also because we have our good friend Lackluster, we're just gonna do this. And go to Red Station. The bosses of this chapter are both in Red Station, Lantern Ghost and General Guy. So we're making our way over there now to defeat Lantern Ghost. You may think that there was more to this chapter. You would be incorrect. That was all that there was.
Nothing else happens.
Nope. Okay. I thought I was on the block for a second, but then the danger of this pyro guy is too much. Too risky to accidentally jump on him. As you may have seen, we are still at 1 HP after our Junior Troopa fight. Don't want to accidentally take fire damage. And this is where Goombario gets to be useful. We need to hit the lantern twice to make the light big enough to be able to see Lantern Ghost and do damage to him. And Goombario is the only partner that can do 2 hits at once. And that is Lantern Ghost. And for our final partner, we have Watt. Watt is very special. She has very, very powerful abilities. Her basic ability, Electro Dash, pierces defense, so ignores the defense stat of enemies. And as well as her starting ability, Power Shock, lets you completely immobilize anything that gets stunned, anything that gets hit by it. Her upgraded ability will be Turbocharge, which gives Mario +1 damage. So she's kind of just an all-round, very, very strong partner. Very careful.
Yeah, she's great to use in casual runs as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's any time where Watt is bad.
Yeah, she's just great. We love Watt.
And I will be doing a very special trick up here. I'll give it a couple tries. If it doesn't work out, I'll just do the intended strat. This trick doesn't save a whole lot of time, but it's very cool to do. But it's also very hard, and I'm doing it in the darkness. Okay. Got lucky. I didn't think I would land there. That's fine. We're in the general guy fight. I basically just landed in the loading zone behind the wall. You're supposed to use Watt to scare the Shy Guys into breaking down the wall. But by using Lackey there, you can kind of get behind the wall. And the reason that's going to be useful is something that I'll point out after the fight is over, actually. And very conveniently, the Shy Guys put me at 1 HP. I think they might have made a mistake. The Shy Squad will always do 1 damage per Shy Guy that is currently in the squad. They start at 15, and a jump times 2 at full HP does 6, putting them at 9, so 9 damage. This is probably one of the most math-intensive fights in the game. The Stilt Guys have 7 HP. Power Quake in Peril does 8. The Shy Stacks, I believe, they're either 10 or 12. It's not really relevant because I'm doing 14. But we will get to see Watt in action, because Mario can only defeat 1 stack at a time. Therefore, we will Power Shock the 2nd stack. And then General Guy himself. Still at 1 HP, we can't 1-round General Guy. All right, a little unlucky. The lightning attack is slower than the bomb attack. But that is General Guy. Our Chapter 4 boss. And now, because we kind of clipped into this room instead of getting through the intended way, the camera is going to pan to the right, and there will be no card.
I also didn't realize Shy Guys have such high-pitched screaming.
They definitely do. This is a very minor optimization, but going into Blue Station from the right side of Blue Station is a little bit faster. Just less distance to the train station. You also may be aware there is still a boss in the toy box. At least someone that you may consider to be a boss. As I look for this maple syrup. This is the anti-guy. He has 50 HP and does 10 damage per attack. I think it would be silly not to call him a boss.
I remember this dude very well.
Thankfully, he is pretty susceptible to power shock. It's not a particularly hard mash, not as hard as some other stun mashes will be throughout the game. But the very important thing that's in his chest, this is Power Plus. For 6 BP, we can increase Mario's attack by 1. 6 BP it's a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot. But because we're defeating so many bosses in this run, getting so much experience, we actually have more than enough BP by the end of the game to be able to equip it. So if Mario was already doing a lot of damage, he's about to do a lot more. This also may look a little silly. The stone blocks can be broken by the Ultra Boots. Okay. That Power Shock to max it is one of the hardest matches. It is one of the hardest, it is the hardest RTA possible mash. And I will have to do a few more at that difficulty. But we're on our way to Chapter 2.
As we head there, is it a good time for an update?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say we have raised $1,730 for Little Warriors this Prevent-A-Thon so far, which is incredible. And we do have an incentive for the next game for Earthbound to get bike percent. We need $75 for that donation incentive to be met, and you do not want to miss it. And as a little extra motivation, that would break the $1,800 mark for us if we're able to meet that incentive. So get your donations in.
Yeah, absolutely. Do that. Chapter 2 here, this is the hardest part of the run. I will need to, for not a little bit, I will need to focus in a couple minutes here for a very difficult trick. I mentioned earlier that basically everything related to Lackluster, barring a couple things, is frame perfect, and this is no exception. So we will be doing some frame perfect inputs with Lackey on top of a kind of lengthy setup and hope that I get it within a couple tries. but we currently do need the super hammer, not actually to use it, but to set a story flag to put us into a chapter 2 game state, because the game still thinks we're in chapter 4. But now that we have the super hammer, we are in chapter 2 as intended. And this is a fairly lengthy setup here. I need to push Lackey across the room. Come on, Lackey. And then I will have a frame perfect input here. Okay, I was 1 frame late. I could tell by how Mario flew on Lackey there. So, like I said, this is the hardest trick in all bosses. By no means would I ever expect to get it necessarily first try. Ah, it's early. I can go into a bit more detail as to why the frame perfect nature of this is even more difficult in a second here, once I do get it. Ah. Or I can just explain it right now. Based on Lackey's starting position for where I do this push, the frame window for where I need to press the C down button to get on Lackey, or the frame specifically, changes. So if Lackey isn't in the exact same coordinates every single time, it's going to be slightly different. Variance of like 1 or 2 frames in either direction. And sometimes you just make that small mistake where he flies back on its own. For what it's worth, this trick is also why the estimate is the way it is. Because it can happen. Ah, frame early. Frame early, frame late, I can surely get the in-between.
You got this, Phantom.
Ah. Come on, lackluster. Ah, frame late again. Honestly, I can kind of see it now. So Lackey's starting position here. Get him into a good spot. Should be good. There's a couple positions I know whereabouts the frame is. Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Slightly different menu than I'm used to, but there's that. And now we have Tootin' Koopa, the Chapter 2 boss. So that trick skips getting fighting all of the stone chomps, getting all of the lunar stone, pyramid stone, diamond stone, and saves multiple minutes. Like, for as long as that was, it probably about breaks even, but it changes the experience routing heavily. Ah, 4 cap. It's fine. Belly flop wins on a 4 cap. That trick is one of the most difficult things in this run, if not the most difficult. And getting it under pressure is not easy. Notably, it is one of the reasons, if you were to look at the leaderboard for this game, why there is not a whole lot of activity for all bosses. This category is one that I personally put a lot of time into routing with a lot of changes due to seed dupe. And incorporating Runestone skip was one of those changes that, with a bunch of back and forth with myself and Random Sauce, who is the world record holder, we ended up on a setup that is fairly consistent, but it is still frame perfect and it is still very difficult. But we kind of get to move on now. There's not, as far as scary, difficult tricks, we're kind of over the hump. And get to not coast, but show off a lot of other, like, cool, smaller things for the rest of the run. Since we're pretty close to Mount Rugged, this is the best time to make our way over there and fight Buzzar, who many people probably remember as the vulture that accosts Mario as he's making his way into the desert. Normally you would say, like, you are Luigi, you know, so he lets you pass. The other options being Mario and Peach. But since this is all bosses and we do actually want to defeat Buzzar, we will tell him the truth. He's like, yes, we are Mario. Or and like many enemies in this game, Watt is very strong.
Watt always coming in clutch. Yeah,
just being able to take extra turns for effectively mashing. The mashes are another big reason this category isn't super popular. These mashes are not by any means easy, fairly demanding. The next mash that I will be doing on Super Blooper, in order to actually fill the bar, you need to press the A button about 14 times per second. Which is by no means easy. And if you mash too fast, the game actually will drop your inputs. This game runs at 30 frames per second. So if you mash faster than 15 inputs per second, it kind of just ignores your A presses. So it's not just mashing fast, it's mashing at a consistent rate. But for the next little bit, we kind of have a boss gauntlet in a way. Sort of a mini boss gauntlet. This is a super blooper. Our final blooper of the run. And I will take this slightly safe and try to power shock first. Okay, got lucky. If that power shock did fail, there is a slight backup that I can do to try again. And that is super blooper. Notably, it is guarding a chest that has a badge in it. And we're gonna leave.
I could take this badge, but I won't.
The badge in there is Shrink Stomp. It's a funny badge. It's not particularly useful for what we're doing. I believe the reason that it's there from a design perspective... Hi, Sushi.
Yeah, the kids are back.
From a design perspective is that Shrink is actually fairly effective against the other bloopers, so if you were to do that blooper fight first, you could use Shrink against the Electro and Super bloopers. So I just kind of went back here to trigger a cutscene. This sets our story state to somewhere where we kind of can make use of it. Okay. Sometimes this bush is a little finicky. And now we're back in the village. Slightly different looking.
Yeah, the kids are gone.
Yeah.
They were there, then they disappeared.
We're gonna come over here. There is a... We used a repel gel earlier. There's another one in this block. And we're gonna do some magic, I'll call it. I'm gonna grab that coconut. No particular reason. Anyway. I will hold off on explaining what that is. We're gonna do that 2 more times. You'll probably be able to see my item inventory in a little bit the next time I go about doing that. Oh, it's Junior again, by the way.
Oh yeah, that guy I
They're
already
back.
forgot about.
Yep.
That seagull, by the way, his name is Ezekiel. So everyone, please say hi to Ezekiel.
Hi, Ezekiel.
We have 2 boss fights coming up here. We're going to do them in a somewhat strange order.
Man, Ezekiel's just vibing.
Yeah. He's just out at sea.
Yeah, just hanging around.
Yeah. Probably looking for a fish of some kind, I assume.
Yeah.
I don't know what seagulls do.
They do like to eat, like everything.
Yeah.
So that checks out.
So this is Junior Troopa. Again. He's a little bit different this time. He's flying, but because you jumped on him last time, he has a new trick. And that new trick is that he has a spike on his head. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna jump on him. I picked up Spike Shield in Dry Ruins, and I did equip it after fighting Toon Koopa for the purpose of this fight exactly. And now we're going to do a very weird trick. It's a little early on that. Ah, just barely. That's plenty of height. Into the whale we go. And we have another boss fight. This is Fuzzipede. And that was Fuzzipede. So this is the first instance. Defeating Fuzzipede, we end up at 98 star points. If the Fright Jar in Chapter 1 over an hour ago now had failed, we would level up there. And that would cause some pretty big route changes in the next segment. However, that's kind of it for our boss gauntlet. Now, for the most part, things might look a little kind of normal. We have beaten, what, Chapter 3, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 4 in some kind of order. I think it's time to go back to Chapter 6. So we have, the door isn't there, but we have this other magical seed. And thankfully, that does everything we need it to. So we are now back at the start of a Chapter 6 sequence. We came in here a while ago, literally just to get Lackluster. And it was very important. But now it's time to beat Chapter 6 for real. There's a lot of stuff in here that we need. And we kind of just have to do it in the intended order to actually get all of the items. Notably, we need the fertile soil, the magical bean, and the mystical water. And I'm going to do some more magic here. Look closely at our inventory, and you will see that we have 2 repel gels, when I only picked up 1 on the beach. So by riding Lackluster, eating an item, throwing an item, and picking up an item all at the same time, depending on the item that you're eating and the item that you're throwing, it removes different items from your inventory, meaning that the item you throw is not the one being removed, effectively duplicating that item. And repel gels are very, very strong, so I want as many of them as I can get. Especially because we don't have bow.
I remember Bo.
Bow would kind of circumvent some of the uses of repel gels. But because we don't have her, we need other ways to make Mario invincible while he's at 1 HP. For some of these longer fights. And notably there, we leveled up off of the 4 mole fight, just to take the damage on the 3 mole fight and go back to 1 HP. And then take care of the rest of these moles. And this is also fairly particularly routed for FP reasons as well. 6 FP is exactly what we need for the next fight that we're doing. And we did it. We saved Petunia. The first of the 3 items that we absolutely cannot go without. So, this is another little thing that we get to do with Lackluster. This yellow flower is in a pretty good position. Okay. Ah, slightly inbounds. So we don't actually need to give the yellow flower the yellow berry to get by. We can just kind of squeeze behind her with Lackey and make our way over to Lily. And Lily is missing her water stone. She is wilting and slowly dying without it. So we're gonna go try and find her water stone. But before we do that, one more little detour. To both heal with a super shroom, so we are at 10 HP, 6 FP, and also grab a 4th repel gel. And here at this blue flower, we're going to give him the blue berry to open the gate. Hit that little hidden block for later. And then this is what we call the maze fight. 2 Lakitus, 2 Spinies. Lakitus have a 100% chance of getting stunned by a dizzy attack. The Spinies are 75%. Expected. Taking damage here doesn't actually matter too much, it's just a little slower. We're setting these Lakitus down to 6 HP, and then making use of a shooting star. To quickly clear this fight.
Good old shooting stars.
Very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And for the most part, the rest of Chapter 6 here is going to be pretty standard. You might visit Posey before coming here. There's no reason you have to. You can go to Posey after visiting Rosie. So that you can get both the fertile soil and the crystal berry at the same time. But the way this game is made, there are very story-gated things. And Chapter 6 especially is one such case of many, many story gates.
And literal gates.
Many literal gates as well.
Gates. Yeah.
Sort of just bait that cloud over. And then this is Posey. Will give us our fertile soil, as well as the crystal berry for Rosie. Rosie has the water stone, and she will not give it up without a trade for something even more beautiful. Which the crystal berry happens to be.
Even knowing Lily will wither up without it, what a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just how she is.
Yeah.
Notably, with the red and blue gates, you can actually do a different trick with Lackey in order to get through them, but it becomes much more difficult to get back out. It's sort of a weird case of, with double-sided walls, which we'll be seeing, we saw earlier in Chapter 4 and we'll be seeing again later. Lackey is able to clip you onto the other side of a double-sided wall. The red and blue gates are double-sided walls. The yellow gate is not a double-sided wall, which is why we were able to just come back through it normally. So we're going to do the same trick again. Maybe this time land on the seam. Or not. Alright. Not punished. I will also be going out of my way to get a very strong healing item. We used one earlier. This is just sort of a safety precaution over some alternative items I could pick up instead. The Jam and Jelly healing more FP than a Maple by a significant amount will make it a bit more friendly for endgame. And here is our final item, the Mystical Water. At this point, all we need to do is destroy the machine that's putting all the clouds in the sky. Which will be fairly straightforward. Kind of. Something could happen there that makes it not straightforward. Also going to do a fun little thing with Lackey here. Saves a couple seconds over switching to Sushi. Grab another Dizzy Dial. So the Dizzy Dial, as I said earlier on the maze fight, is 100% chance to work on Lakitus. And this fight coming up here at the machine consists of 3 Lakitus and a Magikoopa. And lucky for us, the Magikoopa is 75% chance to get stunned. And even if it doesn't get stunned, it will never attack Mario because it prioritizes applying buffs to the Lakitus that already got stunned. So we're going to be taking advantage of that one way or another. Also, if you're a fan of Lackluster and really wanted to see him do an attack in this run, this fight he will get to do an attack. It's down one.
W for Jonathan.
Alright, got lucky on the Magikoopa. And Lackey will get to use Spiny Surge, because I really need him to do 2 damage. Because these Lakitus have 12 HP and Thunder Rages only do 5. Thankfully, that is the machine taken care of here. I just need to quickly break it. This machine's HP is a little strange. 1 hit on the right, and then a few hits on the left, and that is how you destroy it. For some reason, that's just how its HP is placed.
Do we have a moment for a donation?
Yeah, donation would be good here.
All right, great. Well, an anonymous $6 Canadian donation came in for you. Shout out to Phantom for hitting that difficult trick. Yes, earlier we got that awesome trick from Phantom, and I wanted to remind everyone to put your donations to our incentives. We currently have the Bring or Leave Luigi incentive. Currently, Bring Luigi is winning by about $5, but that's a pretty easy one to snipe. Or the upcoming Earthbound run has Bike Percent, which gives us new content for the run, which we really want to hit that. And I want to say that donating is super easy. Just !donate in chat to get the link. Your donations are processed in Canadian dollars, but if you live in a different country, the donations are automatically converted for you. To see a recent rate of exchange for US dollars and British pounds, you can type !rate in chat.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about the charity as well, we still have another minute or so of cutscene here.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I would love to. Yes. Little Warriors is a national charitable organization dedicated to changing the trajectory of child sexual abuse through education, advocacy, treatment, and prevention. The Little Warriors Be Brave Ranch by Ray Labont and family is a specialized, intensive, trauma-informed, evidence-based treatment center focused on helping children, teens, and families who have been impacted by child sexual abuse trauma. The Be Brave Ranch program offers a one-year combined on-site and outpatient program designed with significant input from many leading academic and clinical experts who specialize in child sexual abuse and trauma. It's a wonderful cause to donate to. Please donate to help the kids.
Yeah, excellent cause. Coming up here, we do have our Chapter 6 boss fight against Huff and Puff. Very conveniently, there is a particular badge in this room. We're going to be reloading this room to get a better cycle on this cloud. And this badge is very important. This is Super Jump Charge. And is going to be very, very important for this fight against Huff and Puff. I will also play this fight a little safe. There is a 2% chance that my power bounce gets stopped on 3 jumps, and I need 4 to kill. In the case where it gets stopped at 3, I have a backup. I will be using the life shroom. Hopefully it just doesn't happen at all. But it's a 2% chance. It's not literally impossible. So hopefully it doesn't happen. Okay. In the case where I did get stopped on 3, he is at a low enough HP to where the rough tufts would kill Mario, activate the life shroom. The life shroom activation does skip Huff's turn, so it's just the rough tufts using the life shroom. And then from there, we would jump ×2 and belly flop with Sushi, and that is enough damage to still win the fight. That is the sort of safety mechanism for if you were to get stopped on your bounce early. It's also been a while since we've seen Peach. I believe it's been about an hour and 30-ish minutes.
What's she been up to, I wonder?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I think that she's probably been fine.
Hey, she's fine. Up in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna, do this Peach intermission like normal. This is a fairly lengthy one, but it is one of the only ones that we can't really do anything about. Being able to skip this intermission would save multiple minutes, around probably at least 3. Just from all of the other subsequent cutscenes around it. But otherwise, that's not real. This is the last thing that's really notable as something anyone would want to skip that hasn't already been skipped. But as far as we know, there's no way to actually do that. So while we're in here, I can talk a little bit about how power bounce works. Huff was the first instance of it being problematic, potentially. I did get stopped on a 4 bounce on Toot and Koopa, which ideally a 5 bounce is used to win the fight. Every enemy in this game has a random chance to stop your bounce at different rates. So you're never guaranteed to get a bounce that goes infinitely, and by infinitely I mean 101, because that is the hard cap. But there is a random soft cap on everything. For most bosses, that soft cap is late game around a 3 bounce 2% of the time. So typically you would get 4 or more. On Bowser in particular, he has a very high chance to stop you on 3. And that's going to be not really problematic because of how we're going to be routing this for safety reasons. But you always generally want to get as much as possible, and the routes kind of assume that you can get past certain thresholds, which isn't always the case. Otherwise, for the most part, this game is very consistent, but power bounce caps do play a very large role in potentially just ending runs on a risky or world record style route. The safer routes tend to not care about power bounce. They tend to use other strategies when power bounce might be too risky, which we will be doing at the end for Bowser. So, Cammy notices that the Clubba is Peach because the Clubba smells too nice, and removes the disguise. Because I guess Clubbas don't bathe.
More lore confirmed. Clubbas don't bathe.
So, now that we've finished chapter 6, we'll be making our way to chapter 7. I think that's the next logical step. And this is kind of why we can't really, like, just beat Huff and leave. We need to do that Peach intermission. Because the door to chapter 7 is locked unless you activate this cutscene. And the way that doors work in this game, there is no loading zone behind the door. In order to take a loading zone, you need to physically open the door. And that is kind of one of the big gates to potentially other sequence breaks. Is that sort of doors are doors, and you need to open them. However, if the door does not take you to a different room or have a loading zone behind it, you can tend to ignore them, like with that blue house. And like with another building we'll be entering here shortly. So I think a lot of people generally really like Chapter 7 for how this sort of opens up. There's a little bit of a mystery. It's a bit different pacing-wise from just, like, fighting and doing other typical RPG things. There's a lot of story here. There's penguins.
Yeah, who doesn't like penguins? Oh, the Quizmaster!
Yep.
I remember that guy.
That is Chuck Quizmo.
Okay.
And, there we go. Chuck Quizmo spawns randomly. He has 64 quiz questions, rewarding 64 unique star pieces that you need in order to buy all of the badges from the Merlot badge shop.
Ah!
There are not enough star pieces to buy every badge in the game without doing all 64 Quizmo questions.
All the quizzes. Oh my goodness.
So
You gotta know your lore. Yeah.
In a 100% category, you would be farming Quizmo throughout the run to get as many questions done as quickly as possible.
It's like a lot of the run, essentially just like Paper Mario trivia.
Yeah, about 45 minutes of it. The quizzes are all in the same order every time. It doesn't really... The questions and the answers are in the same order and same spots every time, so it's consistent.
Oh, that makes it a little bit easier to cheese that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the mayor. He was on the ground, presumed dead. But we kind of skipped the first half of the story.
Yeah. it was just napping, guys. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, by breaking into Herringway's house early, we triggered the second half of the storyline without having to see the first cutscene. And we're just about ready for another boss fight. I bet no one in chat can possibly guess who this next boss fight is. It's a very unique fight, one that we have never seen before. One-of-a-kind enemy.
I dare you, chat. Wrong answers only.
I'm stumped. Yeah. Is it the quiz guy? Is it the quiz?
Oh, yeah. That would make sense. He's right there.
Yeah. Oh wait, who's this person again? I forget.
I don't know. He has a magic wand for some reason.
Oh, maybe he took it from a magic Koopa.
Okay, so I need to block 2 of these. These blocks are a little awkward, but fine. And then hopefully I get a 5 bounce. Okay, fine. He has 4 HP.
Good old Watt.
Thanks, buddy. And again here, 98 star points. If the Fright Jar had failed in Chapter 1, I would level up on that fight. But I have another boss fight to do. And ideally, you would be in peril for this. Because not being in peril is slow. If you were not in peril, that would have done 12 less damage, so you'd have to make that up through other means. And as you can imagine, making that up through other means is not very fast. But I think we're done with Chapter 7. I'm gonna grab this Repel Gel. For good measure. I think I'm kind of...
Do we have time?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, do we have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, great. Well, you received 25 Canadian dollars from Darth Plagueis with no comment, but it goes to a wonderful cause in Little Warriors, and they put that towards the bike percent incentive. So we've gotten started on that. So thank you so much for that donation. And that also gets us closer to, I don't know about you all, but I'm seeing that we're starting to creep up on $2,000 received for Little Warriors for the event. All donations towards that bike percent will help get us there, so let's get it going.
Let's go. Yeah, I was just saying that we're kind of bored with the snow. And I'm upgrading Cooper here. Okay. The movement isn't necessarily consistent, but I actually do want to take damage, so getting hit by the Dark Koopa doesn't really matter too much. Because I think we missed something here. Do you think we've, I don't think we ever went inside the volcano. Kind of a weird choice, right?
Oh, yeah. I remember that volcano.
Yeah, I think Colorado pointed it out a while ago, or whoever that was.
I also like how we've been seeing Colorado, like, throughout the game, and we're just like, nah, we're just gonna ignore this guy.
Yeah.
He showed up, like, a couple times, and you're like, nah.
He's here.
Just kind of hanging around.
So, currently the game is in a Chapter 7 state. That's fine. So, the volcano is kind of already... It thinks it's been beaten. Although we've never been here, so there are some weird flags that are not quite story progress related. Notably, though, because we have not... Because we're coming here late, that block is not there. Normally there would be a giant metal block in the way, requiring the Ultra Hammer to get by it. Which you can get in the volcano. We're not gonna bother. Because who needs an Ultra Hammer? As I'm taking a little bit of damage from this firebar.
Why need hammer when you can jump?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And over it.
That's how I build my IKEA furniture. I just jump.
Yeah, you're jumping. Don't need a hammer, just jump on it.
It sounds right to me.
Yeah, shape it into place.
So we need to trigger this cutscene. Notice there's a bunch of lava. We can't just walk down there. The volcano has already erupted. Once, apparently, while we were doing other things. This corner is a little precise. There we go. And then a frame-perfect Lackey teleport. And Lava Piranha's not here. The volcano's already erupted. So... we're just gonna do it this way. Okay, it's fine. So...
I think this Piranha boss might have made an appearance in Yoshi's Island, too. Maybe?
Yeah, not the exact same one, but I think there is a similar...
Similar?
Yeah. So, when enemies or NPCs are not actively being used, they are stored at 000 in the world. So we just kind of fall on Lava Piranha to start the fight. Nice. Very good RNG. And that was Lava Piranha.
just flops around and falls over.
Just casually jump on it out of bounds, and then we're done.
Oh, there's Colorado again.
Yeah.
Falling with us.
Come on. There we go. I was being very careful with my angle there. There is a spot called jail that you can land in.
Oh no, I don't like the sound of that.
It is impossible to get out of, so...
Oh no. Do you have to like reset the run entirely if you fall in jail?
You would have to reset the console to get out of it.
Oh no. Oh, that's terrible. I feel for the poor soul who found that out the hard way.
But so being very careful with the angle that I'm falling at to make sure that that doesn't happen. And off we go to another Peach cutscene. We just beat Chapter 5, right? I think this is probably the...
I think that was 5.
Yeah. I mean, what else would happen here? This Peach cutscene, like, we're gonna go do, like, the quiz, I think, is what the Chapter 5 Peach cutscene is. That would be logical. I feel like this looks a little wrong, though, for that. Not entirely sure.
Yeah, Yeah, something might be off.
Yeah, I can't read Japanese, so I don't know what's happening.
It's also going really fast, the text.
Yeah, that's true. So, something's happening to Peach. Not a playable cutscene. That's kind of strange. Most of the Peach cutscenes have been playable. Oh, there goes Twink. That's...
Aw, that was so rude.
So this is where we were, right?
Yeah, we were totally in the snow area.
Yeah. This is what we were just doing was saving this Star Spirit.
Yeah, hey, you. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while.
This is, I guess, convenient. We can might as well go into Crystal Palace while we're here and fight the boss.
Yeah.
So that's what's called a Peach Warp. The Chapter 5 exit sequence, instead of saying you just beat Chapter 5, the code tells you that you just beat whatever chapter you're currently in. And the last story sequence byte we set was a Chapter 7 story sequence, so the game thought that we just beat Chapter 7. And by entering the Crystal Palace, it sets us to the start of Crystal Palace's Chapter 7 story state, meaning we can still beat Crystal King. Also notably, that little lackey clip through the mirror, significantly easier than the one that was done in Chapter 2, but it's kind of the same idea of pushing lackey along and then jumping on him at a specific time. But yeah, Chapter 7, Crystal Palace is a very, I was gonna say cool, and it's still true, but it has multiple meanings. And I wasn't going for a pun.
Figuratively and literally, yeah. It's neat.
Yeah.
It's neat. Yeah.
The whole gimmick of this dungeon is that you have the two sides of the mirror that, it's a mirror, they reflect each other. So they are two opposites. And you have these sort of puzzles with the... Look at all of these fake bombettes. Which one is the real bombette? You're supposed to tell by reading what they're all saying. But...
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, so these are all duplighosts. All pretending...
Oh, that's what they're called. Okay.
Yeah, all pretending to be bombette. And grab our red key to open the red door. And make our way over to the Clubba room. This is kind of a small gimmick of the mirrors. So the Clubba's on this side, the statue's on the other. By defeating the Clubba's on one side, the statues go away on the other. I don't know how that works if these Clubba's decided to just, like, leave.
Like, I'm off my break. Can I go now?
Like, yeah, time to go home for the day.
Yeah, gotta clock out.
So, should be mash A. Cool. Making use of our last couple shooting stars in combination with our good friend Bombette to do a lot of damage and make kind of quick work of them.
I've got a incentive update for you.
All right.
We have a snipe of Leave Luigi, now winning by $1.
Let's go.
$31 to 30. That is the speedrunner's choice. But if you think that Luigi deserves to go to the party, please get your donations in for that. We are closing that. We decided to close that at the 3-hour mark. So it's about 30 minutes left for donations for the Bring or Leave Luigi incentive.
Yeah, definitely get that in. It's, I don't want Luigi to be there, but someone does. Surely. The rest of Crystal Palace here is kind of straightforward for the most part. We're going to be going over here. There is a kind of puzzle. So we're going to put ourselves in a very particular position to solve the puzzle. As efficiently as possible. Because I don't quite know which one is the real Cooper. I'm pretty sure it's the one on the left. But I'm not entirely sure, so I'm just gonna kind of just give up and leave.
Yeah. You know, I don't feel like doing this puzzle. Bye.
So that is a very, very small Japanese exclusive glitch. The loading zone was actually changed in the US release. I'm gonna grab this jam and jelly and ignore the panel that was under it. I have not picked up a single star piece this entire run. And then this is another very, very strong badge. This is P up, D down. So when P up, D down is equipped, Mario's attack goes up by 1 and his defense goes down by 1. So he will do 1 more damage, but also take 1 more damage. Thankfully, that works out very well for us. Taking damage is generally pretty good. Or, we're already at 1 HP, and we don't care if we take more damage, because we hope to not take any damage.
We like to be in peril all the time.
Exactly. Just ignore this Duplighost. As we make our way over to the Crystal King. You've also been seeing these statues in the last couple of rooms. These small and big statue there are the albino dinos, which don't actually exist as enemies in this game.
Yeah, I was wondering why there were dino statues. Statues of dinosaurs from Super Mario World out here in this Crystal Palace.
Yeah, they actually are programmed into the game. They have enemy AI behavior, but there's no encounters that spawn them. They're simply...
Why don't they decide to, like, leave them out last minute or something?
Yeah, they have 4 defense. They don't do a whole lot of damage, but the 4 defense is kind of a lot.
Takey.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little takey.
It's just a very awkward enemy. And here we go.
Yeah,
under Crystal King. I don't know who this guy is. He's just kind of here.
There's no lore for him. He's just like, I'm here to thwart your plans, just because.
But he has good music. I need some jam emotes in chat. Nice. Or again. This is an instance of stunning the boss is not possible to guarantee. So, however full you can get the Dizzy Shell bar with Cooper is your odds of actually getting the stun. So that was probably about 70%. And there are many branching routes for this fight, depending on what turn you get a Dizzy Shell to work. It can definitely be a little messy if you get too unlucky. But that was chapter 7. Now, you've played this game before. You know that there's still other bosses that can be fought before going to fight Bowser.
I generally can't remember.
There are 5 bosses in Toad Town.
Really?
Not a single one of them rewards you with experience.
So you fight them for the heck of it?
Yep.
Listen, this is not going to reward me with anything, but I'm going to pick a fight with you anyway.
You do get a key item in your inventory that does nothing but sit in your inventory for finishing all of them.
It's like the I appreciate you guy from Zelda.
It pretty much. I think there is actually, in Shiver City, there is an NPC that will acknowledge that key item existing in your inventory. One of the penguins will be very happy to see it. Or very impressed, rather. There is also...
I do like happy penguins. That is a plus.
There is also one other boss fight outside of Toad Town. That I think might be easier to remember.
That one, yes.
So we'll be making our way over to Toad Town first to do a pretty long series of fights. Notably, with the amount of repel gels that I have, one of them is technically extra. It's meant as a backup for one of 3 different fights that can go wrong. And hopefully, if it gets used for any of them, it gets used on the very last one and not any of the ones before that. Because I would rather not use it before chapter 8. And say goodbye to those lickitongues, as we call them.
I was just thinking they look like Quagsires. That was my...
They have...
So, like, some Pokemon-esque critter, yeah.
They have very, very long tongues.
Yeah.
They're Mushroom Kingdom lickitongues.
Never thought I'd hear those 2 words together.
And through we go, past Strip Cheeto one last time. Not to talk to him.
I have questions. I have so many questions.
He sells 10 items at 64 coins apiece.
What are the items?
In a fixed order. I don't remember all of them. The 3rd item is a repel gel. The 4th item is the badge bump attack. There's a couple star pieces in there. There's a couple dried shrooms in there.
Dried shrooms.
So, we are fighting some bosses. This is Chan. That was Chan. And then this is Lee.
I like that Chan had, like, a ponytail growing out of his shell. Just like, how does that work?
And this is also why we still have Cooper out, is for Lee's transformation. And now we have the Master. And the master is pretty strong, as he does 7 damage. Probably can tell where that's gonna go.
Is there beeping in our future? There it is.
2, 3, 4. The master has been defeated. Or has he? This is also the master.
Ooh, the run back.
Part 2.
And this is where we're going to be using a lot of repel gels.
Is it supposed to be like a Super Saiyan form?
You'll see.
Okay.
I got a 5, so I don't need the shell shot. Nice. 2 5 bounces. Use my Jam and Jelly to heal some FP. And switch to Watt. And once again, we will fight the master. This time he has 99 HP and 1 defense.
Oh my goodness.
And we will be using Watt to turbocharge to give Mario more damage. Okay. This fight is a little scary. He can 3-cap you 2% of the time, and that is problematic. Okay, on a 4-cap, you Electro Dash. Okay, that is the master.
I love the juxtaposition of this martial arts master doing all these cool moves, and Mario just keeps jumping on his head.
And shot, yeah.
Notably, this is the first time I have hit a save block, and I'm going to hit a save block for this. This is the final boss before Chapter 8. This is Kent C. Koopa. The strategy for Kent, we are going to use Dizzy Shell. And it worked. All right. If that fails, I use Lullaby. Okay. And Lullaby is an 80% chance to work on Kent. So that's why I saved, because the Dizzy Shell is approximately 50% and then Lullaby is 80%. You can definitely miss both of those. And then you will just die. And there's nothing you can do about it. So, off we go to Chapter 8. Reaching the end of the game shortly with, let me count, 4 more boss fights.
Which is a good time to remind everyone that at 3 hours, we are going to be closing that Bring or Leave Luigi incentive, and Leave Luigi is only $1 ahead. So perfect time to snipe something.
Yeah, it could definitely change at any moment. And we have a little bit of a stretch of cutscenes here before... I had to listen for an audio cue. Before actually making it into the chapter itself. So, this is probably another good chance to remind everyone about the charity.
Oh yes, absolutely. So all of these wonderful donations are going towards Little Warriors. Little Warriors' mission is to change the trajectory of child sexual abuse through education, advocacy, treatment, and prevention. Little Warriors' vision is to be a unified movement across Canada and the world that finally ends child sexual abuse. So keep those donations coming in. It's an incredible, incredible cause. And we actually have another donation, $25 from Jaws, who says, "Thank you for letting me be a part of the event and a good cause. Just need someone to match me so Ness can have a bike." You wouldn't want Ness to not have a bike, would you? And that donation did go to Bike Percent, which is now at $50 out of $75 needed to meet that. Can anyone else match Jaws so we can get that incentive met?
And you notice here, all of the Star Spirits, every single one that we saved, and a few others, making their appearance.
Whatever happened to the other stars? Who knows?
Yeah,
I'm sure
they were
fine.
probably already here. They probably weren't even in trouble.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. They're stars that can rescue themselves.
And then I think it's this toad who is wishing for shroom cake. That's all he wants is shroom cake. Everyone else is wishing for like Peach's castle to like come back and Peach to be saved, and then that toad wants shroom cake.
That toad's got their priorities straight, right? Listen. Although I don't know what shroom cake would taste like. I feel like it'd be kind of gnarly.
It sounds like it would be worth trying once.
Yeah, for like the novelty, and then you're like, okay, this is the one time I'm gonna do this in my life. I'm done.
Please never again.
No, never again.
There is also a shroom steak that Tasty can make.
That sounds like it'd be a little bit better.
Just a giant mushroom, basically.
Yeah. I've had mushroom burgers before, and they're pretty good.
Yeah. Yes, that Koopa Patrol here has a key for us to open Bowser's Castle. Went to the left, very cool. If it bounces to the right, I'm just sad, because I have to chase after it. And this room is very fun, very laggy. Very awkward. But of course, Bowser didn't make it easy. Because he put a trapdoor here. Which places Mario right in jail. Very unfortunate.
Good thing we have a bomb with us.
True. Alright, please? Alright, fine, I'll get the other one. Unfortunate that it went to the left. But that's fine. There is another life stream in this next room. And we're gonna take this seemingly kind of slow detour. I'm gonna take Lackey over the lava here. Because all the way over here, there's a block. There's a very cool block outside the castle. And
There's a cool block outside.
yeah, we gotta go look at this block.
We gotta go look at this block.
Very, very interesting placement, in my opinion. This room is kind of at an angle, which does exactly what we need it to. And then, thanks to Paracarry. That's, I don't know how old that is. It's definitely very, very old. But the trigger for the door letting you through is not that you come out from behind that block there. It's that you entered this room a second time. So, all of that basement lava stuff, just ignore it. We have another kind of cool sequence of tricks here coming up. This is the flood room. The flood room is, as its name describes, a room with rising and lowering water levels. And there is a key at the very top. And we kind of need that key to open the next door. However, who needs sushi?
Water's just a suggestion.
Also, I don't think anyone knows why this works. But by doing this a second time, this wall goes away. And we're gonna do a glitch with Cooper. By placing ourselves kind of under the key, and without jumping, after falling out of bounds, Cooper stores your jump speed. And when you jump off of Cooper, you get launched into the sky. And that's called a Cooper super jump. And now up here in the cannon room, we're gonna jump on this bullet. And then we're gonna do nothing. Very, very convenient. And then I hope... Okay. I'll have to find another way to get Peril. That's very unfortunate that that heart landed there. And this is called cannonless. Because we are avoiding the cannons. I know what I can do. I'm gonna take a quick detour. We're gonna hit this first. Come over here, buddy. And then this will be a slight backup. Just do this now. The dry bones on the right of that room is, the encounter for that is 2 dry bones. The bone that they throw does 5 damage, so as long as I get first struck and I block one of these... Ah, it's not that dry bones, it's the other one. It's the other one that's, the 2 dry bones. There we go. And we're in peril, as we should be. Small backup for the cannons not going the way I wanted it to, but that's fine. Because now we have door 2, as we call it. this is a quiz door where you are given a series of questions. If you get 5 correct, the door will let you through. If you get 3 wrong, something terrible will happen. So, what do you think we're gonna do? We're gonna get 3 wrong. Because we actually want the terrible thing. And the reason for that is this category is all bosses. So if you don't know what this does, I guess this will be a surprise.
Ooh, I love surprises.
I don't know if you're gonna like this surprise.
No. Oh no.
So 3 questions wrong is all we need. The questions are always the same order, same options. So, I am ready to press the A button as fast as I can. Because this is the fight.
Oh no.
As you can imagine,
What's worse?
this is hard.
What's worse than the anti-guy fight? Oh well, let me tell you. I see you 1 anti-guy fight, I raise you 3 anti-guys.
And these guys are just as strong as the other one. They have 50 HP, they do 10 damage if they hit you.
This is fine.
And that is the anti-guys unit.
I'll just jump in here really quick to give a, well, I guess it's a 4-minute warning on closing, save, or leave Luigi. So last chance to get your donations, but then exclamation point donations in chat for that link. It's super easy and fast, and just a minimum $3 will do it.
Yeah, we are coming up on the end here. Only a few bosses left to go, including, of course, the final boss. And not a whole lot of puzzles here. We do need 1 more Bowser's Castle key, and then there is 1 small puzzle after that. Grab this last key. And slip by this hammer bro. Hopefully, okay. He walked down.
Oh, okay.
Very rude hammer bro. This guy in particular.
Hammer Bro's like, oh!
And we're going to be coming up on, well, after this room. So this is a puzzle. You're supposed to go up or down in these rooms, depending on the fire pattern at the beginning. Casually, it might take someone like a second to realize what's happening. Because all of these rooms obviously look the same. And all the way down this hall. What will we find? Oh, it's Peach.
Oh, wow, that's so convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah.
No, she's a little slow. What was that? That's weird.
Wow. I think she dropped something.
Man.
Oh no! Who could have seen
I've
this
been
coming?
duped.
I can't believe this.
Oh no! No. I'm shook.
I could have never foreseen this coming.
I surely did it.
I can't believe this happened to me again.
Yeah.
Ah. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'll have to back this up. I made a slight mistake with that level up, but that's fine. We'll figure it out.
Wait, who's this person?
It's a mystery.
I don't remember.
Okay, so if I don't block this, I take 9. Yeah. We'll just do this. Leave that. Puts me at 7. Oh, that doesn't actually quite work. Math. So -3 is... I was supposed to level up BP, so I need to finagle my HP to get Peril back. It's fine. So... 7... 12... 9... 6... This works. That would have worked. Don't block this. Okay, we're gonna do this. All right. Good enough. Goodbye, Junior.
Oh, that was their name. Okay.
Nice. That was great improvisation there.
Yeah.
Having to do math in front of people also. That was a nice job.
Math. Yeah, very silly mistake, but we lived. And it won't matter for Final Bowser or Hallway Bowser. Can still finagle my badges in a way it'll do what I need them to. I will be saving before Hallway Bowser, just due to the risk involved. I do have 2 repel gels. One of them is supposed to be for Final Bowser. The backup is technically intended for this fight. Because we will be attempting to Dizzy Shell Bowser to stun him. As you can imagine, it's not necessarily intended to be able to stun Bowser. So hopefully this just works. All right. Good job, Mario. I think jump time's 2 kills. It's not common that you get double 3 capped on that fight. We'll say that much. Okay, this is fine. Doing math in my head. I can figure out a fight that should work without too much issue. The only reason I'm not bothering to save is mostly just because the length of this fight is very, very long to retry anyway. Okay, so I want close call off, taking off this, putting on this, HP plus, this. That should be everything that I can get on. And I'm pulling up a calculator. So... Bowser's HP. I still want to turbocharge. Okay. 7 minus 6 minus 5. Use a life shroom. Eight and 4. So Bowser is at 69 HP currently. And I'm going to be playing around his health to avoid him ever using his healing in phase 2. I have 2 repel gels still. I still have 1 more life shroom, which is ideal.
Also, all the stars are back.
Yep.
Yeah, you totally got all of them, right?
Yeah.
Surely that's why it didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. So power jump will do 7, 11. 7 plus 4 is, yeah, 7 plus 4 is 11 every turn, effectively. Bowser's healing threshold at 10 HP. So Bowser will heal. Bowser has a 75% chance to heal if the difference in percentage between his current versus max health versus Mario's current and max health is over 25. So over 25% difference. So 10 HP for Mario is 50% of his HP, meaning Bowser would have to be at 25-ish HP, which is, he's not going to get there in 2 turns, so that's fine. Just double checking that I have not done too much damage to him. All while this Kimmy fight is mostly, it's an opportunity for me to think and do math, because there's nothing really happening here. It's mostly just Twink powering up and eventually defeating Cammy. So, turn 1, be -4, 65. I should get 3 attacks in, which would be 34. Oh yeah, we're definitely fine. This fight will be very reminiscent to a safe, glitchless fight. And just need to double check my items when I get into the fight. I believe I have 2 repel gels, 1 life stream at the moment. One of these life streams is guaranteed to get used as part of the route. And I do need to block everything.
Quick reminder about our Earthbound bike percent incentive. That is the next run, and we're almost done with this one. That cuts off about 30 minutes into the Earthbound run, so there's a little bit of time, but we do need $25 more to hit that. And we're getting closer and closer to 1,800 and eventually 2K, everyone. Great job.
All right, Electro Dash, 65 HP. Okay. Also, Bowser music is just a jam, so enjoy. -11. And life stream use. 11 is 32 here. Still fine. Rude Bowser.
That was really mean of him. Yeah. A jerk.
Okay. This 4 is 24. I really wanted him to shield on the previous turn. I need to use my other repel gel now. -4 again. He's at 20 HP after this wad attack. So now he's at 9 HP. Cool. Seven. And he's done.
Hey.
Yeah, that was a very awkward ending to the fight, but take that.
Nice
You
work.
did it. Yeah, but you did it.
And now we have our epilogue. So, I believe the incentive closed a while ago for the bid war.
Yes, it did, and you get to save the frames and leave Luigi.
Awesome. So, we've got about 5 minutes before that comes up, so I can, we can do like shoutouts and stuff now. I speedrun fairly often on Twitch, Phantom 5800. I have a run in AGDQ coming up in 2 months for Mega Man Battle Network, single segment. So I will be basically doing that and nothing else for the foreseeable future. But if that's interesting to anyone, you know, feel free to stop by and check it out. Or watch the AGDQ run when it happens in January. Yeah, this category is my favorite category. I put a lot of time and, you know, effort into routing this and working on a lot that goes into a Paper Mario speedrun, especially all bosses. So it was nice to get to show it off. It's a very fun run to go through.
How long did it take you to route that entire thing? I feel like there was a lot that went into that.
I want to say maybe a couple months of iteration across just all of the experience routing, all of the different things that you can do. Most of it is experience routing. Item routing is very complicated as well because of item duplication. But there was a lot of effort that went into it, especially with some help from Random Sauce on top of that, who has record in this category. He has a 259. My PB is a 308 reference. And that is second place on the leaderboard. But yeah, thank you guys thanks for having this run, especially. It's really cool to get to show it off. And thank you, Qbit, for being able to jump in last minute.
Oh yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me. That was a super fun run to like watch and tune into and banter in.
Yeah, this is it's been fun. This is the epilogue of Paper Mario, and there's not a whole lot we can really talk about during this time. It's we include it because there is movement. As far as timing goes, there is still inputs to be made. But generally this is you know, getting to see what everyone is up to after defeating Bowser. Parakarry is delivering letters to a bunch of people, all of our partners, effectively. Inviting them...
The letters that he never picked up.
Inviting them all to Peach's castle for a party. Even Goombario.
Even Goombario.
I forget who's next. Bombette. She lives in Koopa Village, apparently. I guess. I don't know who this is.
Oh, my girl. F. F in chat.
She's still invited.
Yeah, I mean...
She's still invited, yeah.
She lives pretty close, I guess.
Yeah.
There's Sushi. Did you know Sushi has a daughter? And her name is Sashimi.
Does she?
Yeah, her name is Sashimi.
Adorable.
Yeah.
You can see that in the letters that you can read in the mail post office.
Oh.
She gets a letter from her daughter at some point.
Oh, that's so wholesome. Who's this guy? I don't remember him.
And Cooper is going on an expedition to the Crystal Palace and bringing these guys with him. Except that he's been invited to a party and he's not going to on the expedition anymore.
He's like, well, girl, I got a party to go to, so
been invited.
Peace out.
Invited to Peach's castle.
I'm with the cool kids now, Corrado. You can.
All right, so as the incentive has determined, we will be doing a trick here to skip a cutscene with Luigi leaving the pipe. So as you can see, Mario and Luigi leaving their house, Mario goes into the pipe, and Mario comes out of the pipe. And that saves about 12 seconds in the epilogue. And time will be coming up here once Peach raises her hands above her head after her final text box. in about 20 seconds. Final text box and time.
GG.
Oh, GG.
And that was Paper Mario All Bosses for the Nintendo 64. Thank you all for having me.
What a wonderful parade. That was Paper Mario. Thank you so much for that great run. I have been Matrimony, your host for this run. I had a blast kicking off the RPG block. We got so many more great RPGs coming, and I can't wait to join you in the audience because I am done for the day. But don't go anywhere. Yes, we have Earthbound coming up next, right after this very short break. Take a second to stretch, get some water, and we'll be right back.